One of the things that really became clear to us is the potency of practices that emerge as a very integral part of community life. There was these ways of working and engaging with creative process that was so much about the way that education happened, the way that science and knowledge was generated and advanced in a particular setting. With the practice of ngatu making, which is where a lot of our initial experience has been, it fulfilled such an integral role in community life. What relevance does that still have for the way that we think about the need to build community where you are? And so that question, I think, really defined, although we have individual interests and practices and things that we're in, it's like, can Iwi be the space where we investigate how that enriches also a way of thinking about collaborative practice?
There's so many different ways that you can be involved in Iwi, whether it's as an artist strictly or as someone who's researching things, really just organically weaving in and finding ways that you're contributing and learning. With the current project that we are continuing design workshops with 7 key settings. That includes Tonga, includes New Zealand, Western Sydney, our local neighbourhood in Brisbane, Thursday Island, Waipin Islands, Hawaii, where our family and friends and connections are too, and Fiji.
So we knew we wanted to start with this first design, which is called the manulua. It's a motif that's so familiar across the Pacific, manulua being about the flight of 2 birds that symbolizes the union or coming together of 2 groups and families. And so in that is kind of this key of this way of looking at the world where you kind of see that there's a story behind a very simple motif. You know, another thing we're often thinking about is the language that's being developed through design and pattern and symbol making is something that we feel is very powerful and very accessible if the process is put in place in such a way that allows it to have meaning for many people.
The ngatu, in the process of creating ngatu, this art style of collecting bark cloth and assembling exists beyond Tonga. It has different names and different ways of painting processes and styles across especially the Pacific. This is something that involves large groups of people.
The process that we went through was bring together teams that are working together in different settings to consider this idea of unity and oneness depends on diversity. To be able to have unity, you need diversity. It's not something that can exist without it. It would only be uniformity, which is a very different thing. We had many discussions and then thought about individually how they might create, but then we put all of the designs together and had people work together to develop designs collectively. So nothing in that belongs to one person. Profound meaning can be found in and shared, and that profound meaning is given because of the number of people that understand it, that are able to speak to it, the experiences that are connected.
Each person has this unique and individual skill. There's experiences that are unique to each person that by giving that space and time to really reflect on that, you would discover things that you would have never been able to accomplish and think of on your own. And then by doing that, you're creating something that will continue in effect for other people, which I think is a nice thing to practice.
All of us have connections to cultures and bodies of knowledge that are long-standing and provide us with tools that can be a gift to the communities, to the people that we're connected with now. And to really take charge of that, to look back and think about what role do you have as a recipient of that. We have a responsibility almost to draw from our experiences, our connections, and find a way that contributes, can be a gift to the world now.